Tomorrow is Bash in Berlin, August 31st, and let's talk about predictions. This is filmed before SmackDown, so SmackDown Go Home isn't going to influence what my predictions are, but I doubt too much will happen on SmackDown, I think. But let's go right into it. So the first match we're going to be talking about is the Unholy Union versus two of the big three, the women's tag title match. I think they're going to put the belts on Jade and Bianca. I just think it's time for that story to progress. I think Isla Dawn and Alba Fire have had a good run, but I think it's time to progress the story with Bianca, Jade, and Naomi, and I think getting those tag titles onto two of the three of them is the way to do that. To be honest, I think a good thing to do would be if and when they introduce a mid-card title for the women on the main roster, get that on Naomi and have all three of them carrying titles, and then maybe one of them will get another title, maybe the world title, then it forms jealous, and then that would be a good way to start a heel turn for one of them, get the split going and turn them all into great single stars. But I'm not sure. I don't think they want Jade and Bianca to be tag team wrestlers going forward, especially Bianca, considering how good of a wrestler she is and the history she has in WWE. I just think getting those belts on them now is the first step in progressing the story forward. The second match is the strap match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. So I don't think I've ever seen a good strap match that has the four corners stuff. I remember watching the JBL Eddie Guerrero one when I was a kid, and I went and watched the highlights. Oh, that finish wasn't good, but I think that's the kind of thing they're gonna do. I think CM Punk is gonna win because this necessitates a third match for them, and that third match will be probably where Punk gets the proper win, where he pins Drew, probably in a Hell in a Cell or a steel cage or something. But I think a strap match where you have those four corners is rubbish. I prefer it when they are just, you can use the strap to help you pin or submit your opponent. I think it was Bryan Danielson versus Ricky Starks, where they had a great finish to their strap match, where I think Danielson used the strap to choke out Ricky Starks. So it can have a proper finish. This is you're touching the four corners. They're probably going to do... my prediction is, and I thought this was how the JBL Eddie match ended, but it wasn't. I thought it was Drew was going to carry CM Punk. He's going to, hang him or something. I don't know. He's going to carry him, though, around, and he's going to tap each corner, and he's not going to see Punk tap them as well. So Drew's going to tap one, and then Punk's going to tap it afterwards. But Drew is so set on going around that he doesn't check. And then he taps the last one, turns, thinks he's won, Punk hits it, and he wins. I think that's how it's going to end, but I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. I thought that's what happened with the JBL Eddie match. It wasn't. It was weird where... it was so stupid because they clear the lights when the momentum is lost in that match. I'm like, okay, I guess, but I don't think that means you should clear that. It's stupid. But Eddie was hitting them, and then JBL was hitting them, but it doesn't cancel Eddie's one, I don't think. I can't. It's dumb. It's so stupid. And then Eddie runs to hit the last corner. JBL's in front of him. JBL's back or shoulder hits the corner, and so the ref thinks Eddie's won because his hand hit the corner. But then Kurt Angle, who's the GM at that point, comes out. I think he's a heel, and he reverses it and says, "Oh, JBL has won because his shoulder hit it." And I'm like, "This is bullshit." And I'm pretty sure they're gonna pull something stupid like that in the Four Corners match with CM Punk and Drew. But probably, I don't think Adam Pearce will come out and reverse the decision. I just think it's gonna be something dumb where it's Drew. I mean, Drew's story is he's just laser focused on Punk, basically like Hangman and Swerve, where he'll just do anything to ruin Punk's life, or at least the other way around. Punk would do anything to ruin Drew's life. I think Drew will just, not do a normal thing and check his corner is still lit. I don't know, but that's kind of what I think it's going to be, because it keeps Drew looking strong and it gives Punk the win. And then in the last match, Punk will probably beat Drew in what should be a really hardcore match. Hell in a Cell, I think, would work for that. I think Bad Blood, I don't make sense. It'll bleed a lot and there's a cell. Was Bad Blood the first Hell in a Cell? I can't remember. It might have been. Next is a mixed tag match. Rhea and Damian Priest versus Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. I think it's fairly obvious the faces are going to win here because I think it's a way to build up to having Priest get to Finn Balor. I don't know when that would be. Maybe that's going to be a War Games match. What would it be? A Bloodline match? Bloodline rules for the Judgment Day. No, I think it will be the War Games match at Survivor Series. But I think it's the way to eventually get Priest to Balor. I think he's going to get the pin on Dom, so then you don't have Liv and Rhea having, a pinfall between the two of them, because I think you're going to save that for Rhea to eventually get the title off Liv. So I think it's going to be them Priest pinning Dominic, because Dom can eat losses and he's still going to have massive heat with the crowd, so it's fine. But I don't know, it's weird because you want to build that momentum for both teams. I just think it makes slightly more sense for Priest to get that momentum, so then he'll have a pay-per-view match, maybe one-on-one with Dominic, or maybe a pay-per-view match with Carlito or JD. Maybe he'll have a handicap match against them. Then eventually he will get to Finn at one of the big... then you got Survivor Series. So you got Bad Blood and Survivor Series. So Bad Blood, he'll have some sort of match against some formation of the Judgment Day. Then he'll have the Survivor Series War Game match. Then after that, I don't know, but your next major pay-per-view is the Rumble, and then you got Elimination Chamber. I think this could be a blood feud that could last until WrestleMania. It just depends the steps they're going to take. Same with Liv and Rhea, although it's slightly more complicated because there's only 2 of them, as opposed to there being 4 guys that Priest can fight. So that's going to be a little bit more complicated to get to, but I think saving that pinfall for their actual one-on-one match, probably where Rhea picks up the belt, is going to be the way to go. So yeah, that's why I'm saying Rhea and Priest. It's a long-winded explanation for that. Next is Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. I'll be honest, I feel like this match is just to necessitate the Owens turn, where then we'll get an even more compelling story. I think Owens doing the story of, I'm not a bad guy, but ooh, and Cody being like, yeah, you're my friend. There's no way you'll turn heel on me, but maybe you will. I think they've done this before with Kevin Owens. They've addressed it in the story. I think Cody's going to win, not handily. Might even just eke out a win. Maybe a roll-up or something would make sense. And then Owens is either going to turn heel on SmackDown the following week, or he's going to turn heel after the Cody match. I feel like this match will be the penultimate match on the card, or the opener, probably the penultimate match. And then having the turn, if it's the penultimate match, you don't want that, because then you're going into that Gunther-Randy Orton match, which I think is going to be the main event. Spoilers. But yeah, I just don't think you should have Cody versus Owens going on second to last if you're going to have the turn. Because if you're going to have the turn, then yeah, make it the main event. And then that's a big, wow, what's going on? But also, if you do it on SmackDown, you'll get everyone talking about SmackDown, and will do good for the ratings the following week on SmackDown. And I don't know when they're moving over to, I think it's USA. I don't know, maybe. I don't think they would hold off a turn till then, because I think that's over a month away, and that's a long time. But definitely have Owens turning on Cody after this, so this match just to necessitate that, which is why I think Cody's going to hold that title until he faces The Rock at Mania, probably. And probably hold it after that still. But Cody will hold it, and then necessitates a Kevin Owens heel turn, and then eventually Owens will spin off and fight someone else as a heel. And the last match we're going to be talking about, Randy Orton versus Walter Mysterio. So I think it's fairly obvious Walter Mysterio is going to hold onto the belt. It is not his home country, but where he wrestled and really got big, WXW, in Germany. He is from Austria. It is next to Germany. So I feel like it's obvious he's going to win, and I think this is the point where you're like, okay, Gunther. I mean, it's difficult because you've already had him be the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion ever, and so having that's already that massive feat. But I think when you've stepped up to World Champion, you need to beat some former World Champions to really solidify yourself. So having him beat Orton clean this time, I know last time, I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but Orton's shoulder was up, and maybe they spun it into a story afterwards, or that was actually the story of the match. But that is going to give Gunther that big, wow, this guy is world champion material. He beat Randy Orton, one of the greatest WWE wrestlers of all time. So it's fairly obvious Gunther's going to win. I think it'll be a decent match. I think Randy can still go. I don't want to see him keep doing RKOs because I don't want to fuck up his back any more than it already is. But yeah, Gunther will win. Maybe the pass out they'll do. I don't know. I don't know if Randy's the type that you want to pass out. And I think maybe if you really want to punctuate it, you have Gunther pin him. So I'm not sure how he's going to beat Randy because he does like 7 different moves to win matches. But yeah, I think Gunther will win. Not handily, but it will be a nice long match. 20 minutes maybe, 25 minutes. I don't think it's going to be a very long card. So 25 minutes I think is good. Then I think at the end you'll have someone come out. I think it makes sense to have Ilya come out at the end and do a stare down with Gunther. It just makes sense for Ilya to be there because Ilya and Gunther have such history, and Ilya was big in WXW, so it just makes sense for him to come out. It doesn't necessarily mean they need to feud right away. It can be a match you can hold off on maybe until the Rumble, maybe even Mania if you really want to build up Ilya. So yeah, I just think that makes sense. You'll get a massive pop from the local crowd afterwards. If not, I'm not too sure who else was big in WXW that's currently in WWE that wasn't someone who was also in Europe already. So I'm not too sure. Hey, comment down below who you think might be a good alternative to come out at the end. But I just think if you want that big pop at the end, you have Ilya come out and be like, what the fuck is up, guys? And they could do a series again. You could basically just copy and paste the story they had. I think it was the NXT UK title where Gunther just beat the shit out of Ilya like 4 times. And like it turned Ilya into this monster, which got triggered by chops. I remember that Gradwell Ilya match where Ilya just beats the shit out of him. They could do the same thing where like you basically turn Ilya into this monster in his pursuit of Gunther. Then he eventually beats him, and then hopefully he doesn't get injured. Because I think that's what happened in NXT UK, and that's why he had to drop the belt. But that is my prediction. Gunther will win. What do you think? Comment down below your predictions for this match. Let me know if you agree with me. Let me know if you think any of my reasonings are bullshit. I'm not looking forward to that strap match. I feel like the 4-corner strap matches are just lame. I'm so sad Eddie had to do one, and that's how they got Eddie to lose his WWE title. Beautiful title though, by the way. Just looking at it, absolutely gorgeous belt. But thank you for watching, and I hope you watched some great wrestling today.